Okay, let's go. This man right here, Cyril Ramaphosa, the South African president, has thanked this man right here, Vladimir Putin, for doing something. What is it? He has thanked Vladimir Putin for helping bring home 17 South African men who were tricked into fighting in Russia-Ukraine war. Congratulations! Yeah! So the president of South Africa has congratulated and thanked the Russian president for helping bring back 17 South Africans who were tricked into fighting in Russia. Were they really tricked or they knew what they were doing? We're going to talk about that. So what happened? On November 2025, the South African government got a distress call from these guys aged 20 to 39. So guys aged 20 to 39, black South Africans in Russia, somewhere, no, actually in Ukraine, sent a distress call to the government saying what? Please, we want to go home. We can't stay here. Please, we want to go back to our country. This country is too cold. Life in our country, anyway, so how did they get there, these South Africans? Well, they say that they were promised jobs as bodyguards. My friend, bodyguards. You were promised a job as bodyguard and security in Russia. Well, you're going to be bodyguard of a Russian man? I don't believe that. I'm sorry. You know how Russians are? Russians are the strongest men in the world. So you, an African man from your country, they take you to go become bodyguard of a Russian man. Come on, man. What kind of a joke is that? Anyway, that's what they say. They were being hired to be bodyguard in Russia. Now, instead of ending up being bodyguards, they ended up in front line against Ukrainians. And then, you know what? It became very, very serious. So they got stuck in a very dangerous place in Donbass. This is Donbass on the map. The Ukrainians are very strong, okay? They are cousins of Russians. Now, bringing in Africans, say that you bring some Africans to be bodyguard. I don't know if I feel about that the way you feel about that. On February 10th, 2026, the president, this man here, Ramaphosa, called this man here, Putin, directly on the phone. Say, hey, Putin, you know, please get those guys back home. You know, election is coming soon. We need to make sure things are good. You know, please just send them back home. So Putin agreed and supported the effort through Russian officials. He gave orders. South Africa worked with Russia diplomatically to make it happen. Congratulations. I'm very happy they're back. I'm sure the first thing they did, they went to eat magwinya. A magwinya. This is a magwinya. Okay, it's called bofrot in Ghana. Curiously, it's called mandazi in Kenya and Tanzania. This shows you that African people are just the same people. I mean, you hate each other. You want people to stay in the country because their country is not as as your country. But the bottom line is you do the same thing. I'm very glad they're back home. They didn't die because why do you want to go die in a Russian and Ukrainian war? As per report, 4 men arrived back in South Africa last week. 11 more are expected home very soon. And 2 are still in Russia. 1 is in hospital, obviously injured, and the other one is being processed to travel. So the returned men were questioned by the police, then released to their families. So South Africa has a law that says you cannot go as a mercenary anywhere in the world. But I don't know how these people managed. Yeah, obviously they went as security guard and bodyguard to the Russians. Do you know how strong the Russians are? Now, how did they send distress call? I mean, how do you send distress call when you're stuck in war? It's very difficult. Do you think the Russians will allow you to make a phone call internationally to say that things are, I don't know. Maybe their families went to the government and said, listen, our brother Tabo and Sibusiso are stuck in Ukraine. Please help them come back home. And obviously the president looks at it as an opportunity to rebuild his own reputation. He says, you know what, let me speak to Putin and get them back. This is what the president say. President Ramaphosa has expressed his heartfelt gratitude to President Vladimir Putin, who responded positively to his call to support the process of returning the men home. So again, this lady here, daughter of a former president, this man, Zuma. You remember the man? Very, very interesting human being. Now, she was accused of luring people into Ukraine under the pretext of forced job to actually work for the Russian military. Is this truth or not? She's still in court, I believe, about it. Things have not been clarified yet. Would she have done that knowingly? Question mark. Number 2, these men did not know they were going to war. I don't know. But if I were a man from a country in Africa and I was told I'm going to work in Russia, in any area such as security or bodyguarding, I wouldn't go. Like I wouldn't. Why would I go? The country's at war. If I were a man and being told you're going to be a bodyguard of a Russian man in Russia, I wouldn't believe that, because Russians are, look, if they start World War III, but no weapon, just hands, the Russians are going to win it. There's no way you can become a bodyguard of a Russian. It's no way. It's not possible. It's not possible. Now, can we say that these men perhaps knew what they were doing? They went there for money. They went there for opportunities. They went there hoping it's going to be easy. And once they got there, they realized how tough this is, how difficult it is to face Ukrainians. Then they were like, you know what? We don't think we can continue this. Or maybe they signed a contract saying you're going to stay here for 3 months fighting. And after 3 months, they say you can't go back because we need to extend. They said, no, we decided not to extend. They said, no, you have to stay because the contract says you need to extend. Then they're like, no, we can't do this. Let's reach out to the families, tell the families to speak to the government. Maybe that's a possibility. And again, why would you go fight a Ukrainian and say to the Ukrainian, I came to fight you here because I support Russians? As opposed to you saying, as an African man, I came here on a contract for security. I came here on a contract for bodyguarding. I don't know how they made me sign stuff I don't understand. I don't speak Russian. They threw me here. In which cases would you probably survive? The second one. If you got a brain, you're probably going to say, I came here as a security guard. You can't say I came here as a mercenary. Why would people go fight as mercenary? Maybe they offer them money, good money. And I understand people have feelings. Like, listen, even your brothers don't think like you, okay? People come from your mom's stomach. They don't all think like you. People have their own ideas, their own way of life. The bottom line is, fellas, these people are back to South Africa. They're safe and sound. Congratulations to the president for doing something really, really great. And I applaud Mr. Cyril Ramaphosa. Why? Because in many African countries, they don't give a flying duck if you went to fight in Russia. They will not bring you back. They are not bringing you back. They are not spending money, sending an airplane. I don't know what Kenya has done. Maybe, Kenya needed to do it. Kenya needed to bring Kenyans back because the leadership of Kenya had to show America that we actually are on your side. Look at the Russians. They're taking our people. We are bringing them back and we are telling them to not do this anymore. So they have a reason to do that. Why would a country like Benin, Togo, Nigeria bring people back? They'll ask you, Oga, how did you get there? You went to do what? So there's no jobs out of Africa. You found a security job in Russia. Let me know how you feel about this. Congratulations to all these people that are back in South Africa. Hey, my brother, enjoy life. Eat amagwinya, drink omboti, and enjoy life. Why do you think Vladimir Putin made sure these people went back? Well, he doesn't want to destroy his relationship with South Africa in terms of BRICS. He needs support, so it's very necessary that he does what Mr. Ramaphosa says, especially in a very peculiar situation. For Mr. Ramaphosa, it's a win. It's a diplomatic win. But they will applaud him and say, oh, the president brought our boys back home. People say, oh, congratulations. It's good for the ANC. The ANC is the political party of Nelson Mandela. They still rule South Africa. Well, not quiet, but yeah, they are in power. So it's good for Ramaphosa as a person because he's a savior. And it's good for the ANC. Good reputation. They brought back South Africans stuck in Ukraine. Now, for Putin, it's great because he has to keep a relationship with South Africa and show how flexible he is. Number two, it's good because he looks like he's reliable. You can ask him even in a very complicated situation. He's still going to bring you solutions. My honest question to you is this one. Do you think the South African brothers really didn't know what they were doing in Russia? Or they were trying to hustle like anybody? I mean, if you need money, you need money. You never know people's position. Some people may not have medical insurance. They need money for their grandmother who's really, really sick, got a cancer. They'll do anything. Some people may need money for some very serious situation, want to build a house. He's been struggling for a long time. And he needs some quick money. He thought it's going to be an in and out. Then happened to be a complicated situation. And I want you to tell me, do you think these brothers knew what they were doing or not? God bless.